As a Swift driver, I'm constantly being asked, can you really make money at Swift?
The answer is most definitely you can. There's an art to working at Swift, and I'm going to show you how.
I'm not just going to sit here and blah 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 you to death on how to work at Swift. I'm going to simply show you how, by how I do it every day.
The most important thing you need to do, though, is have a very professional relationship with your driver manager.
You don't need to brown nose him or become his best friend or hers best friend. Just simple, professional, respectful relationship is all that's required. They will make or break you.
Mostly they want to make you, because their performance is your performance.
The other topics that are important for your success at Swift Transportation is time management. And I'm going to break it down real quick, even though that most people don't seem to get it.
You get 70 hours a week to work, and after pre-trip and post-trip, you basically have 56 hours to drive with.
If you shortchange that too much, you're going to end up triggering a logbook audit, because the computer that runs the whole show here knows what your hours really need to be legally.
So Swift trucks basically drive at an average 50 miles an hour. And if you multiply that by 56 hours, that gives you 2,800 miles a week.
2,800 miles is the bar that you want to get every week. You can get over that, and you can get under that, but to make the good money, you want to be consistently 2,800 miles.
In order to be platinum at Swift, all you need is 2,600 miles a week. So if you get 2,800 miles a week, you're sure to become platinum in 90 days, which is 5 cents a mile.
So if you take that 2,800 miles and break it down into 7 days, that's only 400 miles a day. 8 or 9 hours a day is what you want. Most guys think they need to run 10 and a half hours to really get a good paycheck every week. But all you're really doing is screwing up next week's time.
As an over-the-road driver, you got to protect next week's time so you have time to work next week and don't get a reset. When you get a reset, ordinarily you're going to end up losing a couple of hours. And that's just like leaving money on the table.
So what you do this week is so important to next week and the week after that you've got to manage your time perfectly. Most all loads have a 10-hour break, so you can choose when to take that 10-hour break. 450 miles is usually where I'm looking for a place to park that night.
You will see as I work every day how I plan my days out, my next week's out, and the following week out, because I basically live in the truck, so I'm working every single week. I hate a reset.
When you have a reset, planners now have all the time in the world just to throw anything they want at you, and you can take it because you have all the time in the world. But if you're working off a reset, the planners have to take time to plan the hours you have available, making it much easier to utilize every minute that you have, so no time is left on the table.
I usually call that lost time, because once you lose time, you never get it back. So try, like the Dickens, not to lose time.
Believe it or not, Most of the people at Swift have no idea what I'm talking about, and they will probably argue with me about it. But I have been driving for 30 years. I got my truck license right out of high school in 1988. So in 30 years I've learned a thing or two, and I'm frequently getting the highest bonus of my driver leader. I'm always on the top. He's always telling me I'm somewhere in the top. There are other guys who know the art of driving for Swift Transportation. So there's stiff competition of getting a successful full paycheck every week.
So, in order to comply with Swift Transportation media rules, I am not to hurt the Swift brand anyway, which I won't, because I truly love working for Swift. And they say you have to give your name. My name is George. Hi, I'm George. I'll leave my last name off because it's not important. In the way the World Wide Web is, I'd rather not have somebody hack me or try to steal anything from me. So first name is fine. I'm George. Got nothing to hide. I work out of the Syracuse terminal. My driver leader is Dan. I call him Dan the Man. Dan hooks me up all the time. He has got my back, constantly working on my success. We work extremely well as a team. Bob, the fleet manager, knows me really well. We go way back. I've been in and out of Swift many years. I usually end up taking off and doing a little personal time to mental and physical therapy. It's very difficult to continuously drive a truck year after year. And Dennis, the terminal manager, knows me very well. I'm not hiding. If anybody in Phoenix wants to know who I am, just simply, you could ask anybody at Syracuse. Everybody knows me. I get extremely good support from my Syracuse terminal folks. I'm basically gonna just treat this video as like a cooking show. You wouldn't really want a chef just to sit in a seat and read you a recipe and tell you how to make meatloaf. No, you want to see how he makes meatloaf. And that's basically how I'm going to do this. I'm not going to just sit here and blah blah, like I said, and tell you how to work at Swift Transportation or any other company. Basically, they're all the same. The only advantage at Swift is that we've got the best customers, without a doubt. We have the best freight, the best customers. That's the reason you want to work at Swift. Not because of the trucks or the benefits or the support team. It's the customers. They are the key. Everybody says, "Oh, my company gives me 50 cents a mile." But who are your customers? Are you constantly live loading and live unloading? There's no money in that. That's the reason they run paper logs and cheat all the time. Because there's no money sitting there getting loaded and unloaded. But at Swift, we have a lot of drop-in hooks. Not only that we have a lot of drop-in hooks, but we have a lot of customers that get loads and give loads with no empty miles in between. That is one of the tricks I'm going to teach you in the upcoming videos, is how to be sure that you drop off a load and get a load. Unfortunately, Swift is extremely huge and is run by a computer, so you can't always get a load from a place that you drop a load off. But if you know the customer, you can simply send a message to a planner saying, "Hey, I'm dropping off at blah blah. Can I get a load out?" And most of the time, boom, you got a pre-plan. It's just that, think about the planners. There's 18,000 of us, and there isn't 18,000 planners. So those poor guys are just sitting at a computer desperately trying to keep up with trucks that need loads.
So, because of our size, those types of details are lost. Not a big deal. You just need to learn how to work around them. That is the art of working at Swift Transportation. I'm constantly saying, hey, I'm going to Kansas City. And I know that we have a massive customer who ships out 50 loads a day. And I always put into the planner, any loads from blah blah going out, possibly east. That's something I've been doing lately too, is telling the planners that which direction I would kind of like to go. I'm not telling them I want to go that way, but I like to stay in the southeast. The work is plentiful and easy.
And amazingly enough, they try their hardest to get me south, which I'm rather liking. This is a new system that Swift has come out recently where we can actually message the planner. And it's like the greatest thing in the world. It's revolutionized working at Swift.
So, stay with me and I'll show you lots of neat little, every day I'll try to give you a neat little tip on making your life easier here and demonstrate how to manage your time and do logistics. There's always another way. There's certain routes that, because all trucks drive off of GPS, that if you just go down the road another 10 miles, there's nobody there. Because the shortest route might have been this other route, but there's another route that's only 5 or 10 miles longer, and nobody's on it because everybody follows the GPS, which takes you to the shortest route, and you end up just having your own road because nobody really plans their routes out anymore. They just faithfully follow a GPS. It's kind of a big mistake this day and age, but I'm happy because after 30 years of driving and 3 million miles, I pretty much can almost say I know every single road.
And that is an advantage that I have over most new drivers, that I know where all the truck stops are, which ones are worth staying at, how far I can get to. But you know, in time, it's pretty easy. So if you want to learn how to be successful at Swift,
just subscribe to this channel, follow along. I'm not much of a media person, so not probably gonna have time to answer your questions. I mean, I don't even have Facebook, so I'm just a regular old driver who's just trying to help my brothers and sisters out there be a little more profitable, that's all. So I'm not totally social savvy. I'll do the best I can, but understand. But catch you guys later. It's just another day in paradise.